Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be talking about my month 3 on Roaccutane. If you didn't catch my previous videos, I'm basically talking about my journey. I did an 8-month course and I'm now 1 year on. So if you want to check out month 1 and 2, check out my previous videos. But today we're going to be talking about month 3. Okay guys, so quick run over my dermatologist appointment. We have now decided to up my dose to 40. She gave me the choice, I think, to stay on 30 because obviously my skin was really bad, but I just wanted to start upping my dose because I knew I had to get to my final dosage, and the longer I didn't up it, the longer I would be on Roaccutane. So I just went in, I said, let's up my dose, please, I want to up it, I'm ready to up it. So this month we're on 40 milligrams. And to no one's surprise, I broke out. I broke out in the first week on month 3. I think it was probably 3 or 4 days in. I had a crazy breakout. I'm going to pop the video up next because it was insane. Okay, so my second week in month 3. Continuously breaking out. At this point my face really changed shape, but I'm not sure if this was from the steroids. I think it was because I read that side effects of steroids sort of give you a little bit of a hamster face, so here sort of swells up. So this week my face completely changed shape. I remember calling my boyfriend and saying my face has changed overnight, and he was like, no, I'm sure it hasn't, I'm sure it's just you being dramatic and blah 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 blah. And then I remember opening the door to him and he was like, oh. Yes, changed a little bit. It was really bad. It was completely swollen. I don't know, I was a different person. I was like a little hamster, and I was also eating a ton, so I was pretty much a hamster. I'm going to pop the video up next because I really want you to see this. My face looks completely different. I'm also going to drop in some pictures now of this is my face, I think with makeup on. I just want to put it in because I just think that this is insane to look back at. This is me with makeup on, still looking crazy like a hamster. My face is just completely different. It's so strange. So the third week of month 3, it kind of got maybe a little bit better, or I think I just wasn't breaking out anymore and I just had the current spots that I'd had the week before. There wasn't really any new ones, but I was very sore and my jaw was really hurting, and it was really sore because I had all the spots on the jawline, so when I moved and when I spoke it did really hurt. My hands also got very scaly, just because they were so dry even though I was moisturising, and my skin got quite scaly. So I was like a wee reptile, well, a hamster and a reptile all in one. My hands were very scaly and a bit weird to touch, but I guess this was just because of the dryness. Week 4, month 3, my skin started to dry up. Again, before my dermatologist appointment, miraculously started to dry up a little bit. So I was in a little bit less pain at this point because they were drying out. It was less cystic at this point, and obviously the steroids had kicked in. So even though my face was a complete different shape, I was in a lot less pain, and it did dry up a little bit, which is better because it's then easier to take your makeup off. It's just easier to be because it's a little bit dry. Obviously with makeup it's harder to put on. My makeup would come off by the end of the, well, not even by the end of the day guys, it would be off by lunchtime. I would literally peel it and it would just flake off. It was crazy, and obviously the aircon didn't help. So yeah, it was drying up at this point, which made it more difficult makeup wise, but it was just a lot less painful. So I was getting a little bit hopeful again at this point that it was going to get better, even though I was in a world of pain emotionally, which is what I'm going to talk about in the feeling section. My back and chest also got insane this month. The first week they got really bad. I had a crazy breakout on both my chest and my back. This was probably my worst for the back and chest. I don't know why, but yeah, this week it really got bad on both my back and chest. Sorry I haven't got much videos and pictures of them. It's just that obviously my main focus was my extreme face, so I wasn't really too worried about my back and chest. But yeah, you can take my word for it, they broke out. So also in month 3 is where my eczema started. I've never had eczema before my entire life. and this was the first time I ever even saw eczema on my body. So yeah, month 3 is where I had eczema. I'll drop some pictures in just to show you what it looked like, but I emailed my dermatologist, and she actually prescribed me a steroid cream to get rid of them, to get rid of it rather than them, to get rid of them. So I used this and it did actually really help, but I didn't find that this was preventative. This would only help when I had the eczema and I put it on. So I actually did find a cream that was preventative for me. After a couple of weeks, I started using this cream every single day and it really helped. It was La Roche-Posay, saying that correctly. I'm gonna link it below, and I use this cream as an everyday moisturiser, just basically to prevent me getting eczema. It did work a lot of the time. Obviously I still got eczema, guys. It's a side effect and it did happen, but this did help me a lot to get it less frequently. It's only fair that I get the dog, I think, at this point, because I miss the dog. I know she made an appearance in my first video, but I've got another one for you. Guys, to bring some positivity, we got another baby, haven't we? Have we got another baby? Oh, she doesn't want to be in it. She's not as easy as the other one. She's quite a madam. She's not going to be involved. She doesn't like the limelight. Okay, feelings, month 3. Feelings wise, month 3, again, I was struggling. I know I say that every month, but I was, and it's the truth, so I'm not gonna lie to you all. It was hard. Month 3 was really hard. I stayed in a lot. I spent a lot less time, and I think what happened to me month 3 was I actually cut off a lot of people. I sort of realised actually a lot of people that I'm around I shouldn't be around, because they're not there for the right reasons. I don't even feel comfortable in their company when I look like this, so why should I feel comfortable in their company when I look normal? So I actually cut off a lot of people during this point, and I was feeling quite isolated, but I did it to myself. I isolated myself, but luckily my boyfriend at the time was really super supportive, so he did really help me through this month, because I did really struggle. I didn't feel like there was much of an end in sight. I was sort of bored of even going to my dermatologist. I knew I had to, and I did want to see her, but at this point I just felt like nothing was getting better, and I felt very down, and I cried a lot. I remember one day I went to the toilet in work and I cried for 1 hour. This wasn't my current workplace, so we didn't have to worry about them finding out, by the way. But yeah, I cried for 1 hour in the toilet, and then I came back up, and I remember my boss looking at me as if to say, she probably needs to go home today. But I stayed and I stuck it out because I loved my job at the time, and it basically helped me not think about what was going on. So feelings wise, I did really struggle this month. I was very sad a lot of the time. My anger's sort of gone. I know I spoke about how angry I was in month 2, but month 3 I was just very sad. I was sort of just down. I felt very, I wouldn't say depressed, or maybe I was a little bit depressed. I think I was on the verge of being depressed, but it was more just sad. I just felt really sad. Also, I think probably a lot of my feelings were also due to my side effects, because my skin was one thing and it was really bad, but I also had really bad side effects. I know obviously all my skin was dry, but my immune system really took a hit when I was on Roaccutane, and I would get sick a lot. I know I would get tonsillitis, and I would get a lot of sicknesses that I wouldn't normally get, and I think this was just due to my immune system being a bit lower, because obviously I was on this super strong drug that made me really exhausted all of the time. I had a lot of muscle aches. I would wake up in the morning and really struggle to get out of bed. I was always tired, and I just felt really fed up. Month 3, obviously I thought I was in the middle of it. Obviously I wasn't, because I ended up being on it for 8 months, but at this point I was just struggling emotionally and physically. I would get some headaches, which I know is a side effect of Roaccutane, and I would feel very tired all the time. And I also had a little bit of sickness. I would wake up in the morning feeling really sick, and it would ease throughout the day, but as soon as I woke up I would feel sick. I guess that's a side effect too. I wish I had a long list. I'm sure you already know and you know what you're experiencing, but I felt a lot of sickness on Roaccutane. Even though I took my tablets with my main meal, I still felt the sickness, and obviously all of this on top of what I looked like at the time was really getting me down. Okay guys, that's it for me in month 3 on Roaccutane. If you want to watch my next video, which will be month 4, I promise it's going to be a lot more positive because there is a light in month 4. Check out my next video and don't forget to subscribe.